Hi guys, this is Math 148, section 9.3. So there's several things that are introduced in this section, mainly the average rate of change and then the definition of derivatives. So I'm going to do them in two separate videos, and this one video is the average rate of change. So the definition, if we said there's some function, what is the average rate of change as the function goes from A to B? Here is the formula. It's f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. So this is basically saying as the function moves from A up to B, this is how you would find the average rate that it's moving from A to B. And this is how you would use this function in a problem. So for these videos, because I'm trying to keep them pretty short, I'm not actually going to go through the derivation of where this formula comes from. I'm just going to say, there's the formula. Here's how to use it. So back to my paint picture. This is question number 39, and the problem gives us this cost function. So suppose the cost for producing X number of printers, we're making printers, people, is 0001 X cubed. It's the dream. Live in the dream. We've got our own printer company. I hope that they are MakerBot printers, because those 3D printers are super cool, and if you have not seen one in action, you are in for a treat. Here's the cost function: 0.0001 x cubed plus 0.005 x squared, and x is equal to the number of printers that we are making or producing. And the question says, find the average rate of change as the average rate of change. AROC, when the average rate of change of total cost, you could say of total cost, when the production changes from 100 to 300 printers. So you're making 100 printers a month, but now we're making 300 printers a month. So not what's the change, but what's the average rate of change. So the way you do this, you think, well, I'm just going to go to my formula. This is, so in this case, this 100 is like the A, and the 300, should be 300, or 3.00, is the B. So you take f of 300 minus f of 100, all divided by 300 minus 100. So now we need to plug in numbers for f of 300 and f of 100. And remember, this is our function. So I'm saying f, but really I should be saying like c of 300 and c of 100. So, C of 300, what is the cost function when we are making 300 printers? That is, how much does it cost us to make 300 printers? So this will be 0.001 times 300 cubed times 0.005 times 300 squared plus 28 times 300 plus 3,000. And if you type that into your calculator, you should get 14,550. If you did not get that, just try it again. You probably made a little error in typing it in. So the cost function at 100, you do the same thing, but instead of 300, you plug in 100, right? Like that. 100 right there. That gives you 5,950. Obviously, I skipped some of the hard typing into the calculator part right there, so I'm going to move things along. So now we have 1,45550, that's the cost function at 300, minus 5,950, that's a weird looking 5, divided by 300 minus 100. This will give us our average rate of change, and it is 43. Okay. So part B says find the average rate of change when you're going from 300 to 600. You do the same thing, only you put in 600 here and 300 there. And then part C, which is more interesting to me, says interpret the results. So how would you interpret this? If you had to write on your test a sentence that says interpret this result, well, I will show you. So remember that C of X is the cost per printer, and here's an interpretation sentence for you. When we are making 100 to 300 printers, or when 100 to 300 printers are produced, the average cost per printer is $43. So when you're in this range, 100 to 300, the average cost per printer is $43. 43! The average rate of change, and change is cost, so the average cost per printer is $43. So you should be able to come up with a sentence like this on a test if you have to interpret the average rate of change. Okay, next up, definitions of derivatives.